Insane Lane here with something new. First thoughts. Today it's Game of Thrones, Season 7, Ep1, Dragonstone. There's a lot that happened in this, so in no particular order. The opening, the feast, and the massacre. Um, Excellent opening. And I gotta say, I wasn't paying enough fucking attention, because I was going like, isn't this guy dead? So why am I seeing him? But I should have instantly gone, Arya, but I didn't. So it was a great reveal. I love that she stops the girl from drinking the wine. So then she's off. We don't see too much more of her. We see the White Walkers are still approaching, bringing, the storm of winter with them. They're still looking really awesome. I've got notes over here. If you see me glancing, it's just I typed bullet points. We get Bran still with, I'm going to say her name is Mira. I could be wrong. There's too many names and y'all know it, so if I, forget or confuse anybody's name, I don't even want to hear it. So they get to Castle Black, where they've just missed Jon. Seriously, the Stark kids' ability to, just miss each other by days. And the timeline in the first episode is very, some people have moved, months, and some people have moved, weeks. It's a little confusing, but, you gotta give it some forgiveness. They got a lot to get to. We have Jon Snow trying to get everyone together. I love the queen, the little girl queen. I can't remember her name. The Bear Islands. So awesome. So awesome. Totally wonderful acting, especially from someone that age. Oh my god. And, the teaching everyone to fight, even the girls. Yes, I'm for this. And find Dragonglass. Gotta do that. It's the only thing that'll stop the walkers. And finally, after 6 seasons, finally, somebody gives a damn that the White Walkers are coming to kill you all. It doesn't matter who sits on the Iron Throne if you're all dead. Okay, that's the thing. All the kingdoms need their heads knocked together, because it doesn't matter. You're all so busy infighting with each other. This massive threat that's just gonna overtake you all, regardless of who's in charge of what. They gotta start getting it together. They really do. So Jon says we gotta train everybody, we gotta find some Dragonglass. Him and Sansa are not getting along so well. He's not listening to her. I think he's probably still thinking of her as, my dorky little sister. He's not thinking of her as a mature, grown-up woman who has learned things, who has seen the world, who has been through things herself. So he's not really putting any stock in what she's saying. And, she tries to say to him, you have to start listening to me. We got to work together. We're the only Starks left. Which, as far as they know, is true. They don't know Arya's alive. They don't know about Bran. And they'll probably... I don't know. Do we think Bran will ever meet up with any of the Stark children? I mean, I assume Jon and Sansa are going to learn that he's alive, that somebody at Castle Black would send them a raven, maybe, and say, hey, your brother's here, and he brought a girl. Somebody might do that. So then okay, Dragonglass, let's go to Samwell. He's at the Citadel. Love the set. Beautiful. So beautiful. Love all the books. I love the montage of Sam getting stuck doing, all the crappiest tasks. He's the new guy, so he gets to do the most disgusting things, and leave it to Game of Thrones to just be purely disgusting. I was gagging. I had to, look away. It was so gross. But, after getting really fed up with nobody really teaching him anything, and he's there to do a job, he's got sent to find specific information. He's got to help Jon and save the North. He doesn't have time for this, newbie hazing shit, literally. And, so, he goes into, the restricted section, and, he finds that there is Dragonglass, that it's at Dragonstone. Which, why? They're both named Dragon. Did nobody think of this? Really? Let's go over to Dany, who, finally makes landfall in Westeros. Woohoo! Took 6 years, girl. Get a move on. But, Dany, that's my girl. You can't see my shirt, but I'm wearing Targaryen all the way. She's been my girl from day one. Also, from season 1, I was rooting for her and Tyrion to meet up at some point. I'm so glad they're together now. I have not read the book, so I don't know anything from that. And the show, from what I understand, ever since, season 3 at best, has wildly diverged. from the books, and is now way beyond where the books even are. So can't really say anything about that anymore. You know, no more book versus the show. It's just the show is the show now, which I think is good. I do. I think it's good for both parts. But yeah, she's finally made it to Westeros. They are in Dragonstone, which is the ancestral home of the Targaryens. So it's hers once again. I love that we see the table map, the big, awesomely carved, amazing as fuck table map that Stannis had for a long time. You know, we learn again it was, I think Rhaegar Targaryen had it carved. Is it her father or grandfather? I think her grandfather. I'm not sure. There's too many freaking ancestors in Game of Thrones. But it's good. She's there. She's, you know, getting it together. They're putting her banners up. You know, they're strategizing. They gotta, I don't know. Somehow they're gonna have to like announce to Westeros that, hey, I'm here, and I've come for my throne. I think it would be better to probably make that kind of a public statement rather than just kind of letting your enemies find out about you slowly. I don't really see any reason for her to be hiding. She will obviously be trying to recruit some of the noble families to her side, which now is a very good time for her to be doing that because, let's jump over to Jaime and Cersei. And she also, I love the women and the maps theme here. Daenerys gets the table map, and Cersei is having a map of Westeros painted, which is beautiful. I look forward to seeing it being slowly completed. It's amazing work. And Jaime rightly points out to her, you are not Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, you are at best Queen of 3 kingdoms, and those are unstable as it is. You just blew up half your own kingdom, don't forget. She blew up like half of King's Landing. Should they call it Queen's Landing now? So, you know, Jaime's right, they gotta start getting some help, and he wants to go to the Tyrells because, you know, they would seem to be allies, they had the marriage, but, you know, do they know that it was Cersei who blew it up? I mean, what did they say? Did they say that was, like, terrorists or something? I don't think we heard, like, what officially was said about how that happened. But yeah, the Tyrells seem to make sense, except, of course, we're the only ones who know that it was the Tyrells who killed, Joffrey. So, there's that. I wonder if that will ever actually come out. You know, like between Cersei and the grandmother, what is her name? I don't remember her name, I'm so sorry. But she wasn't in the Citadel, was she? No, I don't think she was. I think she's still alive. So that's good. But yeah, like, everyone's got to start making some allies, and then we have, Euron Greyjoy arrives at King's Landing, goes to Cersei, and basically says, I will give you 1,000 ships in return for your hand. By the way, can I just say, he made 1,000 ships in, like, no time at all. Because realistically, making one of those ships from scratch takes, like, 5 years. And he's got 1,000 of them. Like, he could be BSing and saying 1,000, and it's, like, 100. But still, you, like, what's her name? The sister. Why can I not remember her name? Yara! That's the name I couldn't think of. It's too close to Euron. Why are all the names the same? Yara and, Theon are, I don't think, do we see them? I'm not sure if we see them this episode, but we know they're, no, we do. They're with Dany and Co., of course. Yeah, they're with Dany and Co. So they're at Dragonstone as well. Where was I going? I had to go look that up, so I've forgotten what the fuck I was saying. I was talking about, yeah, Euron is... Oh yeah, Euron brings Cersei the ships. How he built those so quickly, we'll never know. It's some kind of secret Game of Thrones magic. They have magic. It could be magic. You know, maybe he made a deal with one of the old gods or something. He wants Cersei. She says, fat chance. And he says, I'm gonna bring you a present. I'm gonna bring you someone's head. Whose head do we think? Candidates. Tyrion. Cersei. Does he know about the Tyrells somehow, and it's one of them? My first thought, and I so hope I'm wrong because I'll cry, is that he was gonna bring her the head of one of the dragons. I really hope that doesn't happen. Don't kill my dragons, Game of Thrones, please. It's the one unforgivable thing, and you've killed dogs. Well, you've killed direwolves, but let's face it, dogs and children and babies. And we'll forgive them all that. But you kill those dragons, man. I'm telling you. Don't do it, Game of Thrones. Don't do it. Speaking of don't do it, the character that I was like most of all waiting for to come back and see what is gonna happen, and we find out at the very end, Sam finds out where the Dragonstone is, and when he's going to like mail the note or something, and he's feeding people in cells, somebody reaches out and asks if the Dragon Queen is here. Jorah! My Jorah! Oh my god! What the heck? Oh, I love Jorah. Okay, from season 1, I have loved Jorah, and not just because I love the actor from other things. That's true and very cool, but just the character is so great, and you feel so bad for him. Like Lord Friendzone. Oh my god, and you feel so bad for him, and then when he got the grayscale, I was like, no! No, you cannot kill Jorah. You cannot do it, Game of Thrones. Don't you do it. And, you know, we're given hope that in the same episode that he gets infected and we hear the story of the princess that had it on her face, how they found a cure for her. Side note, there is a cure for grayscale, which clearly there is because she's alive, or she was till they burned her. She was alive. They did cure her. Did nobody write that shit down? You have parchment and ink. Did no one write this down and maybe distribute it across all the known land? Like, I need an answer to this. So the fact that those two things are in the same episode, I found really clunky and not so great a choice at the time. But really, it was, you know, at least there was hope. But now it's been dragging on for like a season, at least 2 seasons, and it's so much worse. When you see his arm, it's like so much worse. And like, oh my god! And just please do not kill Jorah. He has to get saved somehow. The dragons have to be something to do with the grayscale, I think. I think it's maybe like some kind of a dragon disease that gets passed to people, or something dragons can cure. I just have this image of Jorah doing the fire thing that Dany did in the first season, okay? I just have that image of that's how he's gonna survive, or something. Because he has to survive, god damn it. He has to survive, and he has to be with Dany somehow. Maybe not as lovers, maybe just as close friend and advisor, okay? If that's all we're gonna get, I'll take it. But he has to stay with her. He has to live, and yeah, he's got to make a comeback. Yeah, I'm declaring that in all my power as a fan. Okay, I gotta wrap this up because it's getting way longer than I ever intended. Okay, other people. Brienne and the redhead guy with the beard. Oh god, the chemistry between those two. Like, they need to have like a lengthy sword fight that turns into a fist fight that turns into fucking, because that's gonna happen. And you know, I think they'd be so great together. I really do. Like, I know she's got a thing for Jaime, but that ain't never gonna happen. It would be nice, but it ain't gonna happen. Who else do we have? Oh, the Hound. The Hound. Now being called Clegane a lot, which means I gotta learn how to say that. He's hooked up with the band of brothers. They're wandering, and they come across the farm, and I did not realize. It took me a minute. It wasn't until they found the bodies I realized where they were, and that the Hound had realized he knew that farm and likely what he would find inside, and he did not want to go there. He did not want to be reminded of what he did. And we find that Arya was right, that they were starving, and that it looked like the father had killed the child and then himself. So that's horrible. And then he looks into the fire and sees the White Walkers are being kind of smart. That they're not planning to just march up to the wall and try and like punch their way through or climb over it or siege the castles. No. They take their time. You know, they have been walking for 7 seasons now. So and the reason they're walking that far is they're walking to the end of the wall where the wall hits the ocean. So they're just literally planning to just go around it. Why nobody thought of that before, I don't know. But they're planning to just go around the wall, basically, and flood Westeros. And so somebody's got to do something about that. Final thought, the dragon glass. We know that it's in Dragonstone. There's a mountain of it under the ground. But Daenerys is there. Now, my question is, does she know that the dragon glass is there? And does she know what dragon glass does? Because if any family any noble family is going to know that information and have it passed down through the generations. It's hers. Because her family's the dragon family. They invented the dragon glass. Meaning her family may have ties to the first men. Not the first men, the forest people. Who were using it to protect from the first men. Yeah, the forest people, whatever their name are. Yeah, did they work with them? Is that where the forest people got the dragon glass? And where the Targaryens got the dragons, maybe? But does she know about the dragon glass and what it does against White Walkers? It would make sense that she would. You know, I could see her very easily having that or coming across that information, maybe. You know, she has everything that Stannis left behind. Did Stannis ever mention dragon glass? I don't know. He may have. No, I really don't know if he did. But, yeah, so does she know about it? Is she gonna dig it up and arm her Unsullied with it? That would be cool. You know, she has dragons. She could just make as much as she wants. So, let's see where that goes. Episode 2, be up later tonight. Look forward to it. I am Insane Lane, and those are my first thoughts on Game of Thrones, Season 7, Episode 1, Dragonstone. Bye-bye.